I thought I charged my batteries, but I don't think I did, so... Anyway, yeah. Let's just suppose, to give her the benefit of the doubt, that flight attendant is telling the truth. She didn't know there was a dog in the bag. What she's guilty of is blatantly throwing her authority around and ignoring these people, this family, who were saying, basically she was ignoring them, thinking that they're just arguing with her. And you know what I mean? And like someone wrote in a comment sarcastically, luggage doesn't have air side panels, you know what I mean? But what she's really guilty of is she wants you to obey her. She thinks you're just arguing with her, and she's not listening. That's what they're saying. She didn't hear or understand because she was not paying attention. She was tuning them out. They're pleading with her, it's a dog, and she's ignoring them. And the dog's dead because of her. Okay? So just like they're saying, oh, she wouldn't have knowingly put the dog in the overhead bin. Well, a lot of us believe that she would have, and now she's just trying to cover her ass. But even if she didn't knowingly do it, she is 100% guilty of ignoring these people, repeatedly telling them, pleading with her in the position of authority. It's a dog, please, he won't be able to breathe. Totally ignoring them, just tuning them out, and the dog's dead because of her. But no other passengers around stuck up either. You're telling me nobody around knew that the flight attendant was insisting to put a dog in the bag? Nobody knew? Nobody was aware of that? Or were they so afraid to stand up to a completely irrational flight attendant? You know what I mean? It's sickening. I don't know what the deal is with the father and daughter that was thrown off the Southwest, but I do know that they said passengers were outraged that he was thrown off. And he left and said, you know, something like, good for you for ruining everyone's day. You know, Nightline is legitimately featuring our flight attendants getting too big for their britches, just abusing their authority. Obviously something happened with that doctor a year ago that I wasn't aware of that, because he sued and won, and it was settled for an undisclosed amount. United had to pay. Okay, I hope Kokito's owners sue the shit out of this airline, because that flight attendant, you choose to believe her, and she keeps her job, and everything just goes on the same, and she's just vindicated because she didn't know. No, she's guilty of ignoring them. It's not like she said, put that bag in the bin, and they said, okay. They pleaded with her, they begged her, and she ignored them because she was off in another world, tuning them out. They don't speak perfect English, and she was tuning them out, being prejudiced. As far as I'm concerned, she was just tuning them out. But now she's like, she's going to say she didn't know there was you didn't know there was a dog in the bag because you ignored your passengers pleading with you, and knowing that you have the authority and not understanding why you're forcing them to put that's what she's guilty of. She didn't care. She didn't listen. So they should be sued, and they should win, because that flight attendant did not listen. All right? Let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't know there was a dog in the bag because she didn't care. Bottom line, she didn't care. I'm in the position of authority. These people they're foreigners. They're speaking broken English to me. They just don't feel like putting their stuff in the overhead bin and whatever. And she's ignoring the fact that it's a dog. What more could they have done besides actually take the dog out of the carrier than to say, it's a dog, please, he won't be able to breathe. But because they had broken English, and because it's a little girl and then a woman with broken English, the flight attendant was just, you know, blasé, just ignoring them. She ignored them. That's what she's guilty of. As far as I'm concerned, she deserves to be fired. She's, because the dog's dead, and she deserves to be fired for ignoring them. And I hope, since she's not going to be fired, I hope United has to pay. I hope these people sue the shit out of United. And yeah, they get more than just for the dog, people. They get for pain and suffering and all that crap, okay? There's no excuse for this to have happened. The thing with the dog going to Japan, human error. Do I sit there and say there's no excuse for that to happen? No, I understand human error. There's no excuse for this bridge to have fallen in Florida. No excuse. No excuse for that. That's just no excuse. But the dog going to Japan accidentally, it's human error. Last year or something, there was a kid that remember they sent the kid to the wrong place or something? That they were, a minor that they were in charge of? Shit happens like that. Okay? That's human error. blatantly ignoring your passengers. You are an employee, you know what I mean? These flight attendants are still employees of the company they work for. She blatantly ignored these people, pleading with her. They know she's in a position of authority, and they are pleading with her, please, please, no, it's a dog, he won't be able to breathe, and she ignored them, okay? There are hazy facts where we don't know, because the person who wrote the Facebook page was saying, you know, that the flight attendant assured them the dog would be safe and all this crap. If there's no more witnesses that come forward, it's a he said, she said. But the bottom line is, at the very least, that flight attendant is guilty of ignoring her passengers, and it wound up costing the life of their family pet, okay? Her blasé attitude towards them. I know exactly what happened. If she didn't know there was a dog in the bag, but they definitely were saying to her, it's a dog, please, you won't be able to breathe. She was tuning them out and ignoring them, thinking they would just, that's no excuse for that. Again, there's no excuse in my book. You know? Even if it's an accident, people accidentally kill people and they go to jail, at the very least this flight attendant should be fired. You know? At the very least, she should, you know, if that's all that can happen to her, she should be fired, but she's not gonna be. You understand? She's just going to say, I didn't hear or understand. No, because you didn't care. You didn't care. They were speaking broken English. You saw that they were whatever, and you think they're just arguing with you in the position of authority, and you didn't fucking care. Again, if they were so compliant and so scared of her that she said, put that in the overhead bin, and they complied, that would be one thing. They pleaded with her. It's a dog, he won't be able to breathe, and she ignored them. So she is guilty of that, even if she did not knowingly have them put their baby, you know, their fur baby, their family pet, okay? The little girl says he was my brother, okay? He was 10 months old, so, again, asshole people say, oh, he probably would have died anyway, and there's tons of air up in that, whatever, because that's when we believed that the flight attendant had done it on purpose, okay? And even people were coming into her defense in that because they don't want animals on planes, okay? But again, if you don't want animals on planes, then have the planes change the rules. They've been allowing us, we people, to pay $100 to $200 a pop one way to have our pets up in the cabin forever, you know, for a long time. At least since 2012 when I came here with Omar, you know. I'm sure it's been going on longer than that. You know, but people just, but that's when we thought she'd done it on purpose. Now it's so easy for her. It's easy for her to just say, they were afraid to disobey her. That's what it is. Whereas a lot of us, if we were in that position, me included, I'd be like, yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm like, my dog's in there. I'm not putting them in there.